Hi conscious Pisces, welcome to my channel on Oracle and Spirituality. Today is your reading for the weeks ahead. We're gonna see how your energies are gonna evolve. I'm a little tiny bit late compared to my normal schedule, but I'm sorry about that. I try to follow my personal flow, my personal rhythm, my personal energies, and not to force myself to do things that I don't want to do. I've completed the task. Here is your reading. My intro is going to be a little longer than usual because I have a couple of things to let you know. So first thing, as you know, I use the Belline Oracle French deck, and from now on I'm going to introduce the ancient Egyptian tarot, and only the major arcana. The reason why is because the major arcana has more spiritual, a more spiritual feel to it than the minor arcana. And I wanted to bring more spirituality to my readings, to elevate my readings from the mundane. So that's the first thing. Second thing, it's already written in the description, but I wanted to be vocal about it, to voice it. And by the way, make sure you read the description of this video, because if you don't, especially if you're new to my channel, you may not understand anything that I'm saying in my readings, not just this one, but all my readings. So what I wanted to say is that when a reading resonates with you, then it's yours. But if it doesn't resonate with you, it means it's for someone else. It's not for you. So don't take someone else's message for yourself. Be perceptive, have some discernment. And the reason why it's good to check within in order to see whether something resonates with you or not. And I'm not talking just about my readings. I'm talking about anything, any content, any idea that you hear or see, whether on YouTube, on Google, in your real life, in books, whatever, or your mom is telling you something, or husband, or whatever, wife. Doesn't matter. Anything that you come across with, you need to check within to see if it rings true to you. And checking each time within is going to help you, first of all, get your power back. It's going to help you hear your intuition better, develop your intuition, and hear your inner guidance. You'll be more in contact with yourself, and you'll become your own authority. And that's the point. We are our own authority. So here we go. And by the way, you can find readings of my channel that I did months ago and that can resonate with you now, or from other star signs. Doesn't matter, because ultimately we have all the signs and all the houses in our chart somewhere. So those energies express itself somewhere in our life. What's important is that it resonates with you. All right, so it's already 4 minutes, over 4 minutes intro, so it's been a long time. I'll jump into your reading, Pisces. So here are your cards. You've got the Temperance card, the Wheel of Fortune, Thought Friendship, Inconstancy, Support, and finally the Gracefulness. So this energy, the temperance energy, it's your energy. You are embodying this archetype at the moment for this particular situation. And what it's telling me is that you are kind of positive. You are in this energy of help, hope. The reading I did in French was very confusing, so I have to first state the following thing. When I pulled your cards, those two cards, I didn't know which one was on the right and which one was on the left, and I hesitated a lot. It seemed that it could be reversed. So, and it was very confusing to me. So when I did the reading in French, it was super, super confusing. And in the end, I realized, okay, so basically this is, with this card especially, I was like, okay, now I understand. Yes, there is a lot of confusion in this reading. So that's the first thing I need to say. Pisces, your reading is, there is a little bit, some confusion. So in this area of your life that we're going to talk about, in this specific story, there is something confusing, that is confusing you. And you are dealing with someone here, and it's confusing, and you reverse your roles. So at one moment you'll be the temperance, and at another moment you'll be the wheel of destiny. And I'm keeping the cards far away from the camera because there is the sun, and when I put it, you see, you can't see it properly. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. All right, so you're exchanging your roles quite a lot in this reading. It's very hard to know who is who, because the energies are interchanging themselves. So that's what's happening in your life in this particular reading. And the first thing I would say is that it's regarding a relationship, or a relation where there is some friendship, some tenderness, some protection. Someone is protecting the other, is very kind, is very benevolent, is very nice and soft and sweet and dedicate and compassionate as well, agreeable, nice. Yeah, so that's the center of the story, I would say. This is a relationship. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily with friends. It can be with your partner, because in a couple there is always a dimension of friendship. It's not just romance or sex. There is always a dimension of friendship. So yeah, and it can also be with your parents or children or colleagues, co-workers, it doesn't matter. What's matter here is this feeling of protection, compassion, benevolence, friendship, kindness. But to me, it's a relationship. It can be a relationship with yourself as well. And those two would be two parts of yourself. It's always two parts of ourselves anyway. Other people are representing, are the expression of another part of ourselves anyway. So, all right, so you are the temperance, and I get two things from it. Either you were hurt in the past with this person or someone else, but you were hurt, and you had some difficult times, and some kind of death, some kind of ending, some kind of death moment, because there is in the tarot, there is the death card, and this, the Temperance, is the card that show up after the death card. And so it shows up to soothe a broken heart in some way. It's there to bring hope and the first positive feelings that you can have after something difficult happened. And so here you are embodying this energy, very soothing energy that is coming here to help, and that is kind of providential. So it may be how you are feeling yourself, about your in your own vibration, but it can also mean that you carry this hope and help and providential help, detached kindness, act of kindness to someone else, and probably to this person that you're dealing with. And by the way, if you've got your sun, moon, or rising sign in Aquarius, I highly recommend you to watch the Aquarius reading, because they were very similar, except that this reading has the Temperance card, which is the hope and the soothing after the death card, while in the Aquarius reading they had the Star, which is also a healing and soothing card that shows up right after the Tower card. And a Tower moment is also a destruction, a death of some kind, but more brutal and sudden, while the death card is more something slow, a slow process, like something getting older and older, and it's usually the end is happening, but you were seeing it coming. So, but the two readings are very similar, and also this is my Aquarius card. I know for other readers it's the Sagittarius card, but it doesn't matter, because to me it is Aquarius, and this is how I want to read it because of the pot here and the wings. The whole thing, it talks to me about humanitarian stuff, and yeah. Anyway, so, and this also is kind of Saturnian and Uranian as well. So go watch the Aquarian reading. All right, so you are embodying this energy, and in front of you, you've got this energy, probably a person, if not it's you, or some circumstances that are shifting. It's talking about, this energy is talking about the cycles of life, the mechanisms that, the underlying mechanisms of the universe, the grand architect. It's all about systems in systems in systems. Our universe is a system within another system, and it's all well organized, and you can see the wheel. It's just rolling and rolling. It definitely talks about cycles, karma, and the fact that things are constantly changing and shifting, but in a very well organized way. It's not random. Well, it can have some random component to it, but anyway, I'll leave it here. So here you have a person or an aspect of you or some circumstances that are, but I would say it's a person who is embodying this energy. So they are following their fate and the cycles of life, and maybe they are very much in tune with the cycles of the moon or other planets and other types of cycles, of life cycles, and they willingly let themselves follow those rules, those cycles, and they kind of are shifting constantly themselves because of that. So they may be displaying some sort of constant change, a cyclic change of personality, of mood, of... But you guys are in a relationship that is very nice. One is looking after the other, and I would say you are the one looking after them. Or maybe if it's not that, you have hope regarding this person for yourself and for them. Those two cards are very intense, I would say. This one is very light and bright, while this one is a bit more heavy. It's heavier. So one of you is heavier than the other. This person tends to move slowly, move slowly, but it's like well organized. It's like, it's constantly moving, constantly shifting, but there is some heaviness in them, and maybe they are a little bit dark. Maybe their mood is a little bit dark at the moment for this particular situation. And you try to bring light and maybe to try to see hope in their situation. And okay, let's move on. So, as I said, because now we are moving on to the inconstancy card. As I said, this reading may be confusing because everything is interchanging, interconnected, and you can reverse the roles quite easily. So one time you are this person, one time you are the next time you are this one, and it's very hard to understand who is who because you're both. Not necessarily at the same time, but... And this card is saying that there is some inconsistency. So it's talking about the confusion I'm talking about right now. I was just talking about. You'll start to get... At first, one is trying to help the other. But then, because of the roles that are shifting, then you don't know who is looking after who. Because maybe first you were trying to help them, and then suddenly you're the one who needs help, and it's very unsettling because things are not clear. there's a lot of confusion between you about your roles in your relationship. And about the hurt, the past hurt as well. So things, you see the wind is blowing here, and so left, right, you don't know which direction, who is who. It's very confusing. So that's how the energy is going to evolve from something very nice and kind and positive. I'm not saying that this is not, it won't be nice, but because the whole reading will be benevolent. It's not a negative reading. There is no wickedness at all, but it will be confusing and unsettling. You won't know what to think, what to say, which position to embody, and yeah, it will be. And also maybe the other person, they don't want to be helped in some way, like you're trying to help them and they're kind of messing with your help. They're confusing you. And also because after that, you are the one who needs help. And see, it's confusing. It's very hard to explain because your reading is very confusing. And it took me a while in the French reading to get that. Because I was speaking and then at some point I was like, gosh, what I'm saying is not making sense. Or maybe it is, but to me it seemed very confusing. Then the energy moves to the support card. And the support card is telling me that at some point you are going to take the lead again. You're going to be more firm and decisive, or maybe it will be the other person. But then you will try to be a support that is very strong for the other person, or vice versa. Okay, I'll say you, but then know that you can reverse the thing. But you're gonna try to be more decisive, more firm, more assertive with this card. You're going to say, okay, now stop this thing. Stop being like so inconsistent. And inconsistent. And you'll give guidance and clear directions to that person, and you'll be firm and you'll say, okay, stop messing with my guidance, do that. You'll start to be very clear, very firm, very decisive, authoritative a little bit. You'll show some authority definitely. See, you'll be more of a boss, more of a leader. You'll take the leadership of the relationship, of the guidance that you're providing, or whatever thing it is was being very inconstant and inconsistent. And you'll be more settled, more strong in your positions, more grounded. You'll be a real support for them. You won't just be giving hope, the first, positive feelings that you get after hardship, but you'll be able to really lead the process of healing or whatever is going on here. So as I said, or maybe you will be the one getting this help. Someone is gonna be, probably this person is gonna be more directive and more firm with you. Everything that I said, you can reverse it. And the oracle is advising you to keep having hope. Because this card, that's also why I said watch my Aquarius reading, because this card is, to me, the star card that showed up in the Aquarius reading. So here we've got the two cards, we've got the Temperance and the Star, which is here the gracefulness, but both are cards of healing and hope, even when things seem desperate, and it always shows up after hardship and difficult times. So that's why I think there were some difficult times. And to me, it's reinforcing your current mindset. Even if you're shifting, then with this card, as I said, it's emphasizing this aspect when you are embodying this. So it's saying have faith. To me, that's really the meaning of it. Have faith. Trust. Be hopeful. Things are going to be okay, and things are okay. And maybe that's what you're telling them, or that they are telling you when, okay, what you're telling them. Let's keep it simple, because otherwise it's like too complicated. But what I'm saying here is that you want to be, in order to be a strong support, you need to tell them, give them reassurance. Those two cards together, it gives strong seat, and it's telling me reassurance. Give them reassurance. Help them trust with your light. Show them the light. This here as well has some light, the illumination here. So bring hope, trust, help them trust. Stay yourself in faith, and everything is going to be okay. You'll get the support you need, or you'll be a good support for the other person, and things won't be that much unsettling. All right, Pisces, share with another Pisces who may benefit this reading. Like, subscribe. It always feels good to me, and I'll see you in a few weeks. If everything is okay. And make sure you check out your 3 main signs, Sun, Moon, and Rising, to have a more complete picture of your life. Have a beautiful day. Bye, Pisces.